Do you want to know how to avoid behavior shaming your child? That's an actual thing that you don't want to do. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting, good communication, and how to build strong family bonds all over the world through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about correcting behaviors the wrong way and the right way. In this video, we're going to talk about behavior shaming and what that is, and then we're going to be sharing what not to do, followed by what to do. Children make mistakes. That's part of being a child. In fact, when I was a young parent, I was doing foster care for troubled teens. I was raising my own children, and I gave up the idea of perfect children pretty early on because it occurred to me, logically anyway, that children are not going to be perfect. So I'm not making perfect children. They don't exist. That goes against the whole idea of being a child. Instead, I decided that I was going to create a different type of product that would come from my home. Instead, I wanted to create joyful adults who knew what their mission in life was and couldn't wait to fight for it, and had solid relationships with God and family. That's what I was going toward. And that meant that I had to learn how to deal with the negative behaviors as they came. But because I told myself I was making a certain type of an adult instead of a certain type of perfect child, that gave me permission to be more calm and understanding with the child during childhood. I didn't need to take it so personally. The child was a work in progress, and I reminded myself of that repeatedly. It was the adult that they would turn out to be one day that I was focusing on, and even then, recognizing that sometimes you launch into adulthood not perfect yet. In fact, there's many young people who launch into adulthood not perfect yet, and it can take a little while before you get yourself fully to that goal. But you know what I've noticed? That even though my children aren't perfect, and I'm not perfect either, they have all become joyful adults who know what their purpose and their mission in life is. And they can't wait to do something about that. And they have solid relationships with God and family. Mission accomplished. So what is behavior shaming? Behavior shaming is when a person makes someone feel like they did something so out of the ordinary and awful that they aren't a valuable person because they did that. Here's the thing. We all have those bad behaviors that happen. But that doesn't mean that our value as a person goes down, right? See, parents that attach their own emotions to their child's behavior always run the risk of behavior shaming their own child. Their value as a parent, because of the emotional attachment, is now attached to that behavior of the child. And if the child doesn't please them, then the parent might be facing some truth that their value as a parent isn't as good as they thought it was. What they really need to do is say, I'm trying my best as a parent. They're trying their best as a child. My role as a parent is. Their role as a child is. Years ago, I wrote this book, Parenting a House United. It's the one I'm the most known for. It's kind of the key piece to all of the trainings and stuff that I do. So people usually start here and read this. But when I wrote this book, I thought that people understood roles in the family. And then people started asking me these questions that clearly showed me they didn't understand roles. They were taking things very personally. They were behavior shaming their children. So I ended up writing this book called Roles: The Secret to Family, Business, and Social Success. This book actually finally helped people recognize I have a role that is completely separate from their role, and that's okay. I don't need to take their behaviors so personally. So only you know if you happen to be behavior shaming your children. If you've been subscribed to this channel for a while, then you know there is a lot of help here. So make sure that you keep learning and searching to gain more information about calmness and good communication. But first, I want to start with the don'ts and the do's to try to help you transition from behavior behavior shaming and to make sure that you don't fall into the trap of behavior shaming. Children need to see that they can move past mistakes. So one of the first things that we don't want to do is keep a running list of all of the mistakes our children made. Now, I know there are some people that they're like elephants. They never forget. And when one new behavior happens, they instantly compare it to all the other behaviors to see where the connection is so that they can get at the root of the behavior and try to stop it before it happens again. But usually that's not actually that effective. Keeping a running list and comparing one behavior to all the other similar behaviors that happened does not help the child overcome the behavior and get the sense that they are forgiven and they can move on. We need to have a forgive and forget attitude with our children. So don't keep a running list, do drop the subject. If you're familiar with the teachings on this channel, you know that I am a big fan of choosing to drop the subject when it's healthy. There are certain skills of self-government that we talk about where one of the steps is to drop the subject. Well, guess what, parents? When you see your child has done a bad behavior, that is essentially a no answer for you. Now, of course, you're going to correct it, discuss it, help them make better plans for themselves and move on, but don't take it personal. Instead, once you have decided this is what needs to be addressed, drop the emotional subject, and after you've corrected it, drop the subject entirely. There is no need to come back to that behavior once you have already taught about it and corrected it. Let the child have a clean slate. Don't take behaviors personally. Those behaviors are not yours. They're your child's. So what you should be focusing on when your child does a bad behavior is being calm. So do be calm. In fact, at the end of this video, I've got a free gift for you that will help you with your calmness. Don't talk about your child's negative behavior to other people, especially when you are right in front of your child. That is the epitome of behavior shaming. How can your child trust your teaching if you're using those teaching moments to get attention from other parents at their expense? Just don't do it. Instead, respect their learning journey and their role. One of the main characteristics of the role of a child is learner. Parents are teachers, children are learners. So let the child learn and be a good teacher. A good teacher allows the child to feel that the learning is safe. Don't give negative consequences with an intent to hurt the child. If you are taking your child's behavior too seriously, too personally, you might start to get a little bit vindictive. You might feel like it has to hurt them because this is annoying you and therefore hurting you. Relax, you're an adult, you're a teacher, you don't have to feel pain for this. And you know what? They don't have to feel pain either. Sure, some of the natural consequences in life do lead to pain, but does every single behavior need to lead to pain as a negative consequence? No, it just needs to teach cause and effect. So long as they learn cause and effect by the consequence, then you don't have to worry about how they felt about the consequence. In fact, good parenting should include teaching them to be calm and be able to say okay and accept a consequence. All the more they won't feel any pain by it. So don't you get hung up on the pain. That warlike mentality is not going to serve you well. Your relationship gets hurt when you start behavior shaming. Instead, have a plan to follow through with good skills, good teaching, and calmness. Remember I promised you that I had a free gift for you. Well, I have a Calm Parenting Toolkit, and it's a good little mini starter kit to self-government. I would like to give it to you for free. In the description below this video, there is a link that says teachselfgov.com/toolkit. If you click on that link right now, you can have the Calm Parenting Toolkit for free, and it will share with you 10 tools that you can use to be calm in some of the toughest situations. Click on the link to the toolkit now. I'll see you there.